Welcome to our reading for Friday, the 30th of December, 2016. Remember, it's a general reading, so see what feels right for you. See which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you're wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, praying about. We're all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing at the same time, at the same pace. See what feels right for you. It could be one sign, and that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions based in love for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you. How you ride these energetic waves that come through here is always up to you. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave? Preparing for that wave, crashing into the wave, riding the wave, or ignoring the wave? Also, feel free to make this an interactive video if you want to pull some cards for yourself. And if you have some time, try to check out the playlist below. Enjoy the tunes, the music. See if there's more depth to the reading for you in those tunes below. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy the reading, and I'll see you in a moment. Hi, welcome to our reading for Friday, the 30th of December, 2016. Let's see what kind of energy is coming through for the day. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, our higher self, angels and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Let's get clarity and focus on the energies coming through and wisdom for us all to ride these energies best. Let's begin with one card to help us out for the day. One card. You're funny, Minnie. So the Ace of Wands. All right, that's a nice start. This is a fiery, passionate idea, beginning, start that you're ready to take hold of, but you haven't actually started yet. It's in the works. It's an idea. It's an inspiration. It's that fuel in your gas tank when this comes up. It's that thing that shoots through, and it's not like the Ace of Swords that just brings clarity and understanding. It's like energy shoots through into your body, fuels up your gas tank with some spiritual fuel, and gets you moving, or makes you want to move. So after this comes through, I feel like this is usually, I mean, it can be information, but I feel like it's more like inspiration. However that comes through for you. It could be music, it could be a conversation, it could be a feeling that you get about a place, a person, a situation, a new job. I feel like it comes down to feeling in the end. You know, it actually feels like something different in your energy system when this comes through. So you have to change something when this comes in to adjust to that energy that just came through for you. Usually it's going to, like, I just saw you putting your, you know, you were in like second gear for so long and you're like on the highway and you just figured out how to find fourth gear or fifth, you know, and all of a sudden you're on, you know, you're cruising with traffic, and before you were just kind of like struggling. You couldn't understand why your meters were all off. So this is a discovery of something, and you just feel relief afterwards. You feel like you got on board, like, oh yeah, now I'm smooth sailing. Now I can move. Now I can go forward. Now I can make action upon something because this feels like it's working. It's almost like, you know, it puts the oil, the WD-40 in your gears, you know, and gets things like moving nicely, and you're moving with it as well. There's an equal circulation. I feel like when the Ace of Wands comes in, there's circulation outside here. There's energy outside of yourself moving around, and you're somehow like tapping into it. It's like you're moving with the current here. That's kind of interesting. There is a lot of air in this card, so maybe there is clarity that came through for this current to start moving, or you to find the right I guess mode, I'm getting like mode of transportation to ride that specific current along. So maybe you just had to find the right gear, find that, you know, I'm seeing like a hot air balloon all of a sudden. So maybe you need to like, you were trying to do something in a boat and you had to figure out how to, I'm seeing one of those weird, like first I saw the car that goes on the ground and then goes in the water. But I'm sure now there is a personal vehicle that's probably really expensive that goes on the ground and just kind of soars above the sky a little bit. Sort of like, you know, something hovering. I'm getting like, kind of like a helicopter, but a small plane. You know, something where you can rise above the situation. So maybe you just need to figure out a different highway, you know, for you. I'm getting like future, you know, you figured out how to really see something a different way. You were like going in traffic before and you really found how to go above a situation. Like you're taking off. It's more than just fifth gear here. It's like you discovered like you can just fly above the whole highway and above all the cars and just kind of glide along on your own pure, swift moving pathway. I feel like there's something swift here. Gear turning something on, lift off, take off. There's something you have that's actually taking off. You're figuring how to ride along with something taking off. That could be a business, that could be your business, or a specific part of your business that has now taken off. Like you had your business running and you brought a certain product in and that thing is flying off the shelf. Or you're a designer and you decided to do, I'm getting like underwear or like bathing suits or something different and you didn't expect to ever add that in your line and it took off. So, you know, it's learning to ride that new mode of transportation, that new thing. You know, this is still a start. You're not an expert at it yet. You haven't figured out everything yet. You probably haven't even really begun it all yet, you know, but you've got a grasp on something. You have a handle on something and you're ready to go on something. So, I mean, this could be a relationship. It's different for all of you, but I'm getting a little bit of business, or like, if it's a relationship, it's like you're really like feeling energized by it. You're not depleted by this meeting, this person, this relationship, this communication that comes through. It is energizing you somehow to change directions, go a direction, but I feel like you're just realizing the momentum you had in you before. Maybe before there was something bottled up. Sometimes when this comes up reversed, also, you know, this is passionate energy. You have to look at all these cards always. So passionate energy can be passion, you know, it can be like lovey-dovey passion. And this could have been like something not coming through. It can be passion of creativity. You know, it's passionate, moving energy that fires you up somehow. So, there could have been something that wasn't coming through, wasn't breaking through, was pushed under the surface before, wasn't allowed to come out, and now it's coming out. There was that, even if it was like lag time or writer's block or something, wasn't like, I'm seeing like a desert, something hot, maybe something, I'm seeing like a desert, but I'm getting how, you know, the desert in, like there's extremes. You think there's only that hot, dry, like, you know, walking through the desert and I'm seeing like a mirage, or you think that's over there and then finding like an oasis, but it's real. But then I'm getting like the reverse. I'm getting that at night it might be freezing, like freezing cold. So you're experiencing maybe in the past different starts, or you're handling different energies or different climates. So different temperatures somewhere going on, and you found that medium point, you found the right temperature, you found the right way to make both work somehow. All right, let's get more clarity on this Ace of Wands. Let's go to the Guardian Angel Tarot and get another card for the ace. I mean, this still takes you doing something. You have to take a hold of something. You have to have that conversation. You have to be receptive to that energy coming in, that inspiration coming in. And you have to be open and use that yang energy to move it on out of you. Don't get it stuck inside of you. If you get an idea for a poem, you need to write it down. If you get the idea to call somebody, you need to make that call. If you have a connection with somebody, follow that connection, that conversation through. See where it leads you and what you want to do afterwards. What do you want to look up after that conversation? It might just be a conversation, and then you get in your car and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have to look that thing up that I was thinking about. Well, that's really weird. I was thinking about that. And all these ideas start coming in. Write it down so you don't forget about it, or like make a note or something and look it up. All those little ideas make big differences later. But you need to take hold of each one as it comes, or that one big ass idea. If it's one big idea, take hold of it, feel it out, move forward with it, step by step. You're only at step 1 here, you know, but it's a big step and it's a big chance to do something, to feel something out, to bring some passion in your world somewhere. This could just be that passionate conversation. I'm getting about a vacation. Or like you start to talk about your dreams. You're like, oh, I've always wanted to go there. And you're talking about it with somebody. And then, you know, by tomorrow, you're like, you have a vacation booked. You know, you didn't just reach out. You started looking up stuff, finding times that you could go, figuring out how to take off of work and making it happen. So you still have a lot of steps ahead. You have to plan, make some, you know, changes in your schedule, pack your stuff, even if it's tomorrow that you're going. There's still steps before that process or that, you know, that situation comes into your world. But this is that idea. This is that thing you need to move on, or you want to move on, or you need to end even. You know, if this is something that wasn't working for you and you had that big desert and whatever wasn't working, this is you finding that oasis. This is you stumbling into those waters that circulate your own, I'm getting abyss and fire. So maybe you have like a fiery energy, or you had a fiery energy that was burning out and you need to cool it down, like cleanse it off, take a break, you know, dip into something a bit more emotional, and maybe that'll balance out that passion. Or there's a lot of air in this card, something intellectual, you know, there's an understanding that comes through that makes balance in all that passionate idea you had. So some of you have all these ideas, but you don't know how to structure it out, you know? So you might have had all these passionate ideas written down in journals, but don't know how to make it work into a song, or how to make it work into a business plan, or how to make it work into a book, or how to make all those things that you went through, all those relationships you went through, work into that next relationship you have. But this is it actually working. So maybe you just need to have that last piece to get that fire moving. Maybe it's clarity. There's also grounding here. There's mountains, and there's a big like solid building, cathedral. It makes me think of the state capitol or something in I want to say India. But the domes make me think of the feminine structure in architecture. So when you see, there's also the towers. So there's masculine and feminine in that building. There's balance, but there's a lot of the feminine energy with the dome. So maybe there's a way to look at the situation around. So there's a direct approach, but maybe the way to grasp on the situation is to actually be receptive to the entire picture and take a look around the whole situation, everyone else's perspective, you know, in this idea, this inspiration, so it works. And I'm getting structure. There's some kind of structure here. So it moves, like I'm seeing now, like I just saw these wheels on this dome, like start to move. Almost like maybe if you were looking at some kind of like, I hear Colosseum, but I'm thinking of like when they have the indoor astronomy things that you can go inside and sort of see the stars and they move. So maybe astrology, astronomy, maybe cycles, and I'm getting the mountains. So you need to be grounded for this to work. So you have to find your footing, grab a hold of something, find how you can ground this idea down, make structure, make sense of it, make clarity, put something down. If you have a lot of, I'm getting chicken scratch or ideas down already, there is a way to now make all of those things that just seem like they were, I'm getting like just notes, flakes, bits and pieces of something to make it something solid to work, to put all together into what, like a novel or a business or a plan or something. So there's something big that's going to come through that's going to like, I'm getting like mold, mortar, like glue, cement, all those fragments together somehow. So maybe you just have to start piece by piece, you know, fragment by fragment, or this is a big piece coming through. I know that was a lot and I didn't even get to this. I just have to go with how the flow goes every day for each reading. So, fire. I hear fire and writing. So, all right, let's, it also makes me look at how, like, I see sometimes, like, it makes me, like, I think of the flame and I kind of see fish here when I see that. Like, even like, I don't know, I just saw like goldfish, like those little snacks for some reason. I don't know, sometimes weird things pop in. Maybe that's important for somebody, or I don't know where that came from. All right, let's get another card for the day for Friday the 30th and get clarity on the Ace of Rods. This could also be like, since it's passion and fiery energy, it could be like news, information circulating around a fire sign. It could be Sagittarius, Aries, Leo energy, or that could be that fiery energy in your chart in you. Or maybe look for where you feel warm. You know, I would say like fiery, but like I'm getting like sparkles. You know, like I'm not getting hot, humid, hard to handle, fiery, you know, need to lie on the floor to cool down energy. Although maybe if you're feeling too hot, you need to go somewhere to cool down to find that balance. But I'm getting like sparkly energy. Look for where it sparkles and it feels like it's circulating. I feel like that's the right direction. So let's get another card, help for the day. Five. So that's the Hierophant. So this is a change in direction, a change in how you see something, a change in the structure of something inside of you or around you. The 5 is the Hierophant. It takes what is around you that you can't always understand. Usually it's it's like I feel like it's a little bit like the male energy of the High Priestess. So it puts some logical sense into that spiritual energy and puts some structure and rules into something, or into where there's a lot of different energies, so it's running well, so it works. Maybe that's the gears moving. So sometimes you're in a structure and all of a sudden you feel like you're that nail, you know, always getting stuck in something, and like the gears aren't running right, or you're not running right in those gears that are moving. So that's usually a sign coming in that there's something changing in your energy, you know, in your path, in your journey between you and those people. This could be a union and you and somebody else, or you and a lot of people. When the Hierophant comes up, it's usually like, you know, traditionally it's your school, it's big business, it's your job, it's where you and somebody else, or you inside of yourself, have union to do something, to follow the rules, because it makes things work, because those rules have, like, it's having integrity in every decision that you make, that it is a good choice for you. And, you know, when you're involved in a bigger structure, a church, an organization, you know, something where there's others involved, there's other people's energies that have to be taken into account of, so everything can work smoothly. So, I mean, in one sense, it's a union, it's a marriage. So the Hierophant could be, I feel like it's sometimes like that masculine energy of the universe of God coming down to help you get some structure somewhere where maybe it was just not making sense before. So it's rules, and it's sometimes breaking the rules, but it's rewriting the rules inside yourself so that you can be open to restructuring something that isn't working anymore for you, depending on where you are in your journey. You know, sometimes we're involved in something and that structure works for us, and then we grow and we change. Or, you know, we're in a job for a long time and we follow the rules to that job, and then suddenly we figure out there's this passion that we want to start doing. There's something in our world we start pursuing. You start to go to the gym more. You start to do a hobby more. You join a band, and all of a sudden, you know, that you're working at a bank for so many years, and now on the weekend you're doing some gigs, or you're doing something different. And now, you know, maybe you used to always go out with your friends after work, and you're like, no, I want to go home and practice. Or you go back to school. So now you're not going out with your buddies after work. You're like, I want to go study. Or you get married and you don't hang out with your friends anymore. Now you go home and you hang out with your family and your children. So depending on what you are and what you're doing, where your life unfolds, the structure of the values that you hold dear to your world to make it work for what's dear in your world change. Or you have to realize that you have to be adaptable to these changes, depending on what comes in, you know. We learn from everyone around us. So this is finding others that have a frequency, a vibration that resonates with you, that feels good with you. So if you don't feel good where you are in that vibration, your job, your relationship, your surroundings, it could just be your home. Sometimes we just need a change. Sometimes we're literally have a house in a place that we might not even like merge with in our frequency, and it just takes moving down the block to feel better. You know, the whole family, it might be the house, the energy. So sometimes, you know, you think it's everything, and you just make one little or big change and you feel better in everything. So this is always coming to an understanding with others on where you are. Sometimes it's you leaving the understanding you have with everyone where you were and going somewhere on your own so you can find a new understanding that works for you now. So this is a big card. The Hierophant's a big card. There's a lot of different meanings that come up with this. So you could be thinking about your marriage, like the reading yesterday, what works for you, what rules are good for you now. Maybe if you got married when you were 18 and you're 30 something now, or 40 or 50 something now, you know, after living with that person how many years, or different relationships you had, whether you were married or not, you've learned different things. And now if you're starting something with a different person or starting a different job, the rules are going to be different there. If you know, are in your, if you go to school and you have your I'm getting like high school or college somewhere, and then you transfer, you're going to have a whole different set of rules, teachers, energies, situations, friends, homework assignments going on in that new place. So you have to restructure everything and readapt and change. And maybe some of the rules will be the same, and maybe some you'll bring with you and some you'll leave behind, and some you'll just will be blasted away when you see there's a better way to do something in that new environment. Or with that new person. They might present something to you never saw. You may have a new experience in that environment you never thought you'd have that changes the way you see something. You might be in an environment for so long and then have a sudden experience come in that changes the way you saw that experience, and you just don't want to be there anymore. Sorry, you're out. There's something better waiting for you that's going to circulate this beautiful spiritual energy in your world, and you're going to start to take steps towards this. This doesn't mean you have to be in a job and suddenly leave it. It could be just taking steps to blend energies together. Maybe just take something on the side, start to talk to somebody, start to take a class, start to go back to school. Or, you know, maybe you're in school and that's not for you, and you're going to do something. You're going to go and do some energy healing work, go to school for nutrition, go to school for getting like body therapy, or maybe like massage therapy, or a personal trainer, or a dance instructor. I'm getting something physical. So maybe physical therapy. Maybe you went to school for something your whole life, and then you had a foot injury, and that therapist changed your world so much, and you had to like take some time out. Sometimes when things happen, accidents and such, it's the universe's way to tell us to stop, we're going too fast, there's something we're ignoring, there's an imbalance, and we have to take some time, you know, to pay attention to something, to have therapy on ourselves, to go back in ourselves so we can adjust to something, get stronger with something, and who knows where that might take you later. You know, that person, that teacher that you had in kindergarten might make the difference for the rest of your life, you know? So however this comes through, you have to allow this change to come through. You have to adapt to the changes, and you have to adjust your rules. You know, don't be afraid to break the rules sometimes. Sometimes the rules aren't good for you anymore. The one, this is coming up, so I'm gonna come up with my really weird, this is my weird parable for the Hierophant, just so you know. When I tried to explain this one time, it's like, now use this as a parable. This could be regarding your job, your, you know, relationship with your family, anything. If you go to, like, say, temple or church, or, you know, somewhere where you go and you learn about spirituality or something, and you have an amazing pastor, minister, you know, somebody that's, you know, touches you and you resonate with, and you've learned a lot from him, you've gone a long way and you're spiritual, or it could be anything. It could be the best professor you've ever had, and you just resonate with them and you go along with them, and they teach you, like, we're going to go two different directions. We're going science and religion here for some reason. So you're sitting in science class and you're learning about NASA and going to the moon and all those things. And like, all right, so you're getting maybe a lot of things that you resonate with, and science, and, you know, like, I'm getting like, like experiments and, you know, like statistics and all that stuff that resonates for you. And then maybe you're in church and you're more spiritual and you resonate with the way that this, your church teaches, or whatever it is. And then say both of these people are doing their thing, you know, and they walk outside and they meet in the courtyard of this, where there's like, this spiritual center and a school going on. I'm doing this weird, I'm getting this weird story. And they both walk outside in the courtyard and they look above and there's a UFO or a miracle, an angel that appears right before them both and starts to speak to them, shows them a miracle, changes their world. Science class isn't going to be the same. Going back to talk to the minister inside that never saw that big angel or UFO, whatever it is, that's it. I'm just using this as a parable, something that's that outside the realm of what you were going along with in the structure inside that work for that structure. But say your structure just breaks on open. You can't go back inside and force the professor and your teacher to have that same miracle if they didn't see it. They didn't see it. Their experience isn't the same. Maybe in the future they'll have that miracle. They'll have something that'll happen and they will then resonate with you. But that came for you for a reason, to experience something that puts some spiritual fire in your world, to make you see something different, to turn a lever, to do something different, to write something down, to go a different direction, to break some rules, to realize there were rules there that need to be changed. Because you were the one that was meant to see something different here. So what needs to be seen different here? I didn't even read this card. Embrace those around you. This is a time of great spiritual growth for you, making it even more important to surround yourself with those who love you and share your beliefs. Be willing to accept help from others. You could find comfort in traditional solutions, or your heart may long to try out new ideas. So this is different for everybody. For some of you, you're going to feel that comfort going in a place where you need to go back to some tradition. You know, you got too far off of left or right field, and you need to bring something back to home base for you in those decisions that feel right for you. They don't have to make sense to anyone else, maybe just you and who's in your environment. You know, it could be like a little home business and you do everything by hand. But that works for you because when you start to put it on the computer system, you don't like that. And you don't like to put anything in. What if there's a power outage where you are, you're not really into the computers or the typing. So doing something, maybe that's that chicken scratch I saw, like maybe doing something by hand works for you. So maybe you have all these people around you who are like, well, if in the business, if you get this app on your phone, you do that, maybe that doesn't work for you. You prefer to write it in a notebook. And you know what? When there's a power outage or something, all those other people that can't get to their work, you can still get to your books. So it's finding what works for you. Finding what works for you with the others around you and opening up to others having experiences on their own, having their own discoveries, their own miracles. And maybe you'll see a miracle together and that's what'll resonate. Maybe you're going to reach out and find there's other people that have had that experience that you've had that you thought you were alone. And you tried to tell those around you and they were like, maybe they believed you, maybe they didn't, but maybe they just didn't have that experience to have that fire inside them fueled up to know what you were going through. So this is finding others that resonate with what you're going through, or just finding that fire inside of yourself to understand that it was an experience for you. Maybe not for everybody else. Maybe to get you in a direction you'll understand later and you'll feel good and warm and tingly when you're there. So this is moving forward with those tingles, with that fire that brings you that passion and that energy that makes you want to keep driving to something, keep doing something, keep figuring something out. So let's pull one more card for the day from the Hero Machetes Oracle of Visions and get clarity on Friday the 30th, the Ace of Wands, and the Hierophant. I also feel like when this comes, there's a lot of divine, holy, spiritual, universal love and energy and help coming to help you change, to help you adapt, to help you adjust, and help you move towards something that's softer, feels good, feels like you're circulating those energies, like you're circulating that love inside of you and you get to share it back and it's received. I'm seeing somebody like trying to share something with somebody. I'm going to say it's like you threw it against the wall, like hit a brick wall. I'm getting like you're really excited about something you saw or did or experienced and someone just doesn't get it. They're just like, and you can't. Sometimes that's in your family and you just can't change somebody that's there in their own journey, their own experience. But it's still knowing that there's someone else out there. You can still have support coming around you somewhere with people that don't understand you. And sometimes that not understanding pushes you in a direction where you get a different kind of support somewhere else. So there is a balance somewhere. And sometimes where you're not supported is just that imbalance needed to find the adjustment you need. All right, one more card for the day. All right, this is the Lady Luck. Taking a chance, knowing the risks, knowing what's worth the risk, You don't want to get this big idea that's bold and it's just like a fizzle, or it's just like, I'm seeing that like thing, like the microwave thing, like it's something you just, throw in the microwave and had no nutrients in it. I feel like you want the nutrients that's coming through again. You want like a home-cooked meal. You want it not to be a fleeting chance. So know where you're just throwing money away, throwing time away, throwing energy away, and it's not circulating back, like a gamble. This is something that's fueling your fire with spiritual energy, and it's definitely not a gamble. There's so much spiritual energy coming through. Spirit, God is on your side here. So I feel like there's luck on your side, but you're going with what doesn't feel like a chance. It feels like an opportunity. It feels like it was meant to be. It feels like it was divine timing for you. Like, you had to maybe throw the dice a little bit in the past, take a chance, fall down, stumble a few ways, go in a few wrong doors, so you know how to play your hand. You can't always get a perfect hand, but you can learn how to play it. You can learn to adapt. You can learn to adjust. And I feel like this is something a little bit extra. I feel like it is a little lucky, although you can look at anything as like superstitious or maybe not being good. I feel like there's a little luck coming in here. So know what's worth the risk, and know where to properly place your energy. And let's see, number 21 is Lady Luck, Fate, Taking Risk, Evaluating the Odds, and Superstition. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry. This card is all about evaluating the odds and taking risk. Life is a constant roll of the dice, so you must consider all the pros and cons. While some choices can be avoided, others we are forced to make. Each comes with its own promise of reward or consequence. Our perception of chances are often influenced by our individual abilities, beliefs, and superstitions. But ultimately, only the lady knows what card she holds. Lady Luck personifies our conceptual approach to luck and fate. Adorned and surrounded by a collection of associated symbols, she offers us another card that will determine whether we have a winning or losing hand. Are we relying too much on luck? Are we struggling to pay the bills but buying a lottery ticket? Are we basing important decisions simply on hope that things will turn out in our favor? If so, good luck and keep your fingers crossed. So, you're at odds. Maybe you're at odds with something, or you were at odds with someone, and I feel like now you have you're feeling full in your house, if that makes sense. I mean, when I see this, I see like a full house in hearts. So you have the Ace of Hearts, the King of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, the Jack of Hearts. You're holding one here. You don't know what this is, but that might be that start. That might be what you learned from the past. You know, it might be holding them, you know? But I just heard hold them, like hold them, fold them. Is that a card game or something? I don't know card games very well. My mom, my mom and like her sisters and brother, like Pinnacle. Maybe Pinnacle is a weird card game that came out of nowhere. But I feel like whatever this comes through makes you feel full in your house, in yourself, in your environment with harmony. So, move towards the fulfillment in your heart, you know, in your passions, in that spiritual drive you have. All right, guys, I hope this is helpful for the day. I love you so much, and I'll see you soon.